Having made 6 flawless and perfectly identical tapers, I'm gonna do some more today. Hello, this is Elwin. Welcome back to DarkenEmber Forge. Today I'm gonna continue practicing making tapers. They're just, they're not up to snuff, you know? They're all leaned a bit, which I believe it comes from holding it at one angle and then not holding my hammer at the same angle, essentially. So for example, if I was trying to hold up a 30-degree angle and hammer on it, but I'm only having my hammer at about a 45-degree angle, that's a 30-degree angle against the anvil and a 15-degree angle off the center of the bar. I think I need to adjust the angle of my hammer. I remember in some of his very early videos, Alex Steele was talking about holding the hammer very, very angled. Why do I keep demonstrating with my hands when I have the tools? So instead of like striking with your hammer here, you hold it almost like that. So when you're striking down, you still aim straight down. You're just aiming at this weird angle and coming down relatively lightly and slipping off the edge of the anvil a little bit. Maybe I'll try that. I kind of want to try doing it over the horn. That's another basic step, and it will help a little bit equalizing the angle, because I can have the horn being part of the angle as opposed to the flat anvil surface. The curved horn means that I don't have to tip my hammer over practically sideways to get a shallow angle. We'll see. I'll try some things, and if nothing else, it'll be a little more practice and a little more attempts at hammer control. So I'll get the bar heating up. I'll meet you at the anvil. Actually, before I get the bar hot, I thought I would try to demonstrate a little bit of the angle. If I wanted it held about here, which is probably, God, that's more like a 20-degree angle, I think. So if about here, what angle do I need to best illustrate this? Alright, so if here is about a 45, there-ish is about a 30. Now, I would want my hammer then bent roughly at that same angle. So I would be striking in a very, very confused, awkward fashion for me, especially doing it left hand to illustrate. But I was definitely not getting this angle. It was more of that angle, like a 45 from the anvil itself, which isn't enough unless I had this at like a perfect, what would that be, 22.5 angle? Which, no way I'm that precise. I don't know, anybody who could be like, yes, this is exactly a 22.5 degree angle, that'd be pretty cool. Alright, in the fire. We're doing another interlude here. I'm sure you can see that dark spot in the middle. That is where my flame is backing up. The front burner and the rear burner, they're working. They're nice and hot. That center part, it's just not there. And if I come over here, you can kind of see the fire popping up. Whoop. Wiggle my camera all over, try not to burn it. Once I get back down, that starts to warm up almost immediately from the fire blowing. You can see it all pulsing and warming up. And there it goes. It's blowing back inverted and cooling off again. So that's what I'm fighting against. Step 1, trying on the horn. Horn is tricky because you need to keep it on the same spot pretty much all the time, or else it throws off your curve. First impression, don't like the horn. Whoops. unsupported sheet of tin trying to block the wind doesn't actually do much. When the wind hits it, it just blows it over. Having bent it over a bit and reworked it, the angles from these sides look a lot more close. The angles from these sides look pretty close, but the angles don't match each other, nor is it tapered down anywhere near as I'd like. Yeah, you can easily see the oblong nature of that. Oblong? Rectangular. Alright, try a little more. Well, trying to set it over there to keep the wind blocked didn't help either. I guess you need more than a little piece of wood propped up against it to hold it up. Figured between pinching it between the wood and my tent, it would be more stable. Again, forcing it into position kind of works, but that's not what I want to do. I just want to put it in the right position to begin with. On the other hand, I think that's going to call it for square. Alright, we got the S part onto the O. So much for center. And I did a set down on that. Lovely. And that's exactly what I wanted. Realistically, how are we looking? Not very good. The octagonal sections are very twisted, a lot of them. They don't go straight down in line with the angle of the bar. They bend off from it. They're not all equal sized or a similar size to the flat plane. I don't think I can really do much to repair that, so to speak. Maybe I could, maybe I should be trying. I don't know. I really don't. Might just do my best to round it off and tell myself that it can only go uphill from here. Sure looks like it's curved this way. I think it's just how goofy the end is. Okay, looking down as I roll it, it doesn't look too bad. It's not wobbling much. Yeah, looking down from straight above, it's definitely off to a corner, basically. Whoop. Can you see if I... Yeah, if I burn myself like a moron, probably not. Yeah, probably not. Maybe I'll cut that part where I'm trying to burn myself off. Yeah, it's not perfect. Definitely not living up to the Brian Brazil suggestion of if you want it perfect, make it perfect. Which tells me that I'm not taking this practice seriously enough, perhaps. Well, that's the first one for today. Okay, hopefully having a start will make continuing relatively nicely much easier. Because so far, it's not too bad. So far. Okay, so we move back to the shoulders. So I undid a lot of my good start. Three heats on the square end and it's still a bit lopsided. Though I have to say it's a lot closer than some of the other ones so far. Even though I had to actually just sort of bend it back. I guess let's see if it if it survives octagonal. Jumping the gun, rounding the end here. Again, a lot of these, I started my first one off angle. So it's a very off-kilter octagon. On the other hand, the octagon sides are pretty close to even with each other. Not so much with the flat parts. Though the flat parts are kind of close to even with each other, size-wise. We're still kind of well-centered. Yeah, okay. Best one yet so far. Oh, there I go, getting too big for my britches. Come on, carp mouth, cold shut for me. Break off or something. Should take a file to it, probably. Wow. Okay. Is it perfect? No. Is it a heck of a lot better than my others? Yeah. Yeah, it gets even about the right length. It's like less than an eighth off, I think. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Alright. Just kind of have to have the right mindset, it seems. Go in thinking, I'm going to do a great job on this. I'm going to put in the effort and make sure it gets done right. And then do it right. And now for something slightly different. is awkward. I feel like I'm losing too much heat when I stop, grab it with the tongs, and cool it so I can hold it with my hand. My gloved hand, anyway. So I'm going to take this end down where it'll fit in the tongs a little better. Because while they can stretch out to hold this half-inch stock, it's a little bit big for them. So we'll try to pull a little chunk out so they'll grip better. This is the kind of thing where I'd really benefit from a spring fuller or a guillotine tool. So I could put down even fullers on both sides, or even shoulders on both sides, I mean. And could keep it centered a little bit better. So we've all seen how well I do with keeping things centered. I'm also getting some diamond on it, which means that I'm not holding it at the right angle. Though the diamond sides were parallel, which suggests my hammer blows are about right. And now we're all sorts of cockeyed. Test fit, that's barely knocked any off it. It's still pretty broad. Maybe give it a slight tape or two so that it'll catch those back ones, back hooks as well. So, how centered is it? That's going to be relatively important for this one. Okay, so this side needs to go down. Well, that twisted it a bit. Was not my goal. But I guess the real test, how far can I grab it? That's doable. Here, seems stable enough, though it being a little bit off center and twisted does not help with that much. Now I can start my tapers from the other end of the bar and burn off that little last bit of receipt. Adding in the extra step of distance of the tongs there, I'm really making this a wiggle worm. But I really don't like burning my hands either, and as short as this bar is getting, that's getting more and more of a likelihood every taper. Didn't really get a square taper out of that, though we got a start on it. Whoa, and it's also much harder. Okay, let's see here. That looks pretty good. That looks good. That one, okay. 2 of my 4 corners are coming in pretty nicely, which is interesting. Huh. But yeah, none of the sides are even. From that angle it looks pretty nice. That angle, not so much. Nor that one. Yee. Though ironically, the center is, well, the point is centered, I should say. Huh. How in the heck? Yeah. It's just that some of these like angles don't come down straight. Like this one comes fairly straight. This one comes in and then wiggles. This one kind of swoops the other way. And then this one just sort of veers off slightly. And that's not hitting flat against the anvil, but having my hammer kind of twisted, tilted in that plane. So you're trying to keep it tilted to the right angle, perpendicular, I guess, to the anvil there, and then also parallel. Yeah. Angles. So you might suspect the twisted ones aren't hammering straight. How are we doing there? Okay, didn't knock it too far off center. The octagonal bits, the diagonals, I guess you'd say, are, yeah, they could be better. The length is almost spot on, though. little bit off center. I wonder, it'd still be enough heat to sort of force that end down a bit. God, I swear I just made everything worse right there. Too far. Good. Oh, I hate these freaking tongs. Chase that all over my anvil there. Looking good that angle. Yeah, a little off kilter that angle. Not by much. How's she looking from above? A little squished out in diamond. I have a bit of a bulge coming up on this side where it goes past the original stock. All in all, not too shabby, and about the right length. Okay, well, I would say that feels like improvement. Now for another.